Perfect. Well, today will be all about makeup contour. Probably you could be really eager for this lesson. It's quite an important one. Altering features with makeup contouring. Contouring is a makeup technique, as you can imagine, used to enhance and define the natural structure of the face. By using darker and lighter shades, you can create the illusion of different shapes and depths on the face quite effectively, altering the appearance of the features. Makeup contour has some early origins in makeup. Specifically, we have these eras: the theatrical makeup era, the silent film era, mid to late 20th century, and the modern era, up to modern times. Regarding the theatrical makeup era, being the 1500s and 1800s, contouring was used by actors in the Elizabethan era to enhance their facial features under stage lights. Specifically, they used chalk and soot to create shadows and highlights. In the 1800s, actors continued to use makeup to define their features, still using grease paint this time to create shadows and highlights. But as you can see in the image, this was quite subtle. It wasn't really intense back then. In the early 20th century, where the silent film era begins, that being 1920s, quite crucial decade, we have the advent of silent films. Actors used heavy makeup, including contouring, to emphasize facial expressions, because the lack of sound meant that exaggerated facial features were necessary to convey emotions. In 1930s and 40s, we have makeup artist Max Factor that popularized the concept of contouring in Hollywood. He developed makeup techniques to enhance the facial structure of film stars like Marlene Dietrich and Carol Lombard, adapting stage makeup techniques for the screen. During the mid to late 20th century, where we have the 50s and the 60s, contouring became more refined with advancements in makeup products. Persons like Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn were known for their contoured looks, crafted by makeup artists who used shading to define the cheekbones and the jawlines. During the 80s, we have a significant use of contour as well, because contouring saw a big popularity thanks to the dramatic makeup trends of the decade. We have bold, defined cheekbones and heavy contouring that were common in fashion and music videos as well. And in the modern era, where we have 2000s, makeup artists like Kevin Aucoin brought contouring back into the mainstream. Aucoin's books and celebrity work showcased how contouring could be used to transform and enhance facial features. And regarding the 2010 up to the present, contouring became a global trend, largely due to social media and reality TV stars, such as Kim Kardashian. The technique became accessible to the general public with the release of contour kits and instructional videos from beauty influencers. Today, contouring is now a staple in everyday makeup routines and professional makeup artistry, meaning that nowadays all makeup artists perform contouring in their makeup. It has evolved into a sophisticated technique with a wide range of products available, from powders to creams, and is used to subtly enhance natural features or create dramatic transformations. The widespread availability of tutorials and professional-grade products has made contouring a common practice for makeup enthusiasts worldwide, let me add. Now, some contouring techniques. There are some tools and products needed to achieve a perfect contouring. We need contour products such as creams and powders that are a few shades darker than the skin tone. But you can see in the image, this being the brown brownish substances. We need some highlight product, that being a cream or a powder, again, that is a few shades lighter than the skin tone. We need blending brush or sponges for seamless blending of the products. And we also need setting powder to lock everything in place. These are the techniques we follow in general for a makeup contour. And the step-by-step guide being the preparation of the skin, where we cleanse and moisturize the skin. We begin with a clean and moisturized face. We apply a primer to keep makeup in place. The second step being the foundation application, where we use foundation of a matching skin tone to create an even base. So we create a blank canvas, you could say, where on top we could perform the contouring. Contouring techniques on the cheekbones, forehead, jawline, nose, and eyes are also performed. Today, we're not going to talk about the eyes. This is another session. But regarding the cheekbones, for defined cheekbones, we apply the darker contour shade in the hollows of the cheeks, from the ear toward mid-cheek, and then we blend upwards. Regarding the forehead, to reduce the appearance of a larger forehead, we apply the darker shade along the hairline and blend downwards. For the jawline, we define and slim the jawline by applying contour along the jawline and blending downwards into the neck. And regarding the nose contour, in order to slim it, to make it appear thinner, we apply contour along the sides of the nose and highlight it down the bridge. We blend well to avoid harsh lines, of course. This is for the dark application techniques, the dark substance. Regarding the highlighting techniques, we brighten and conceal dark circles under the eyes with a lighter shade always. Regarding the cheekbones, we apply highlighter on the tops of the cheekbones for a lifted appearance. And we highlight the bridge of the nose as well to make it appear straighter and more prominent. And regarding the forehead and chin, we highlighted the center of the forehead and the chin to bring the areas forward. So by this point, you should understand that when we put light somewhere on the face, we bring it forward. Whereas when we put a shade on the face, we create a depth. Then we have a thorough blending. We have to blend the contour and highlight thoroughly to avoid harsh lines. This can be done by using a damp makeup sponge or a brush for a seamless finish. We always set with powder, as setting powder sets the makeup and it ensures it stays in place throughout the day. We can adjust specific features as well. We can slim the face. So we put contour on the temples, jawline, and sides of the face, highlight on the center of the forehead, bridge of the nose and chin. And to widen the face, it is the contrary. We use highlight on the outer areas of the forehead and the sides of the chin. We avoid heavy contouring on the sides of the face to achieve a wider face. And to shorten the nose, we contour the tip of the nose and under the nose. Between the eyes, we also put a highlight all the way up to the bridge of the nose. Some useful tips for effective contouring is the selection of right shades. Contour shades should be about 2 shades darker than the skin tone, and the highlight should be about 2 shades lighter. You have to remember that less is more. You start with a small amount of product and you build up if needed. And you always apply your makeup in good lighting to ensure even blending and a natural look. Now we're gonna see a video to see all those techniques I mentioned. Give it some time. That was a quite quick tutorial for contouring in order for you to take a first taste. We'll be more analytical with the steps we follow in the following slides. Now, where do we perform contouring? The instances where we use it. We can use it in everyday makeup for individuals who want to enhance their natural features subtly for daily wear. Contouring can add dimension and highlight bone structure. We can use it in special occasions, in events and parties, for special events like weddings, parties, and formal gatherings where people want to look their best and have their features stand out in photos. And in photo shoots for portrait sessions, fashion shoots, or any professional photography where defined features and a polished look are desired. We can use it in theatrical makeup, in stage performances, and in character creation. In theater, contouring is essential to ensure facial features are visible from a distance and under stage lighting. And regarding character creation, we can transform actors into specific characters, emphasizing or altering facial features to fit the role. We can use contouring in television makeup for individuals who appear regularly on television. Contouring helps in maintaining a consistent and polished appearance under studio lights. Remember, television has really harsh studio lighting, almost like theater, but not so harsh lighting. In TV shows and dramas as well, actors in TV shows often require contouring to ensure their features are well defined and flattering on camera. We can use a more subtle version in cinema makeup for film actors and character transformations again. For high definition filming, contouring is used to enhance features again, add depth, and ensure the actors look their best under various lighting conditions. To create specific looks for characters and transform them, especially in genres like fantasy and sci-fi and period dramas, contouring is used really frequently, I'm sorry. We can use contouring in editorial and fashion makeup as well. For fashion shows, contouring helps models' features stand out under the intense lighting and cameras. And for magazine shoots, for editorial spreads where a polished high fashion look is desired. We can also use contouring in cosplay and costume makeup. Contouring is used to achieve the specific facial features of a character for cosplayers, adding depth and realism to the whole costume look. In Halloween costume parties as well, to create dramatic and themed looks for special events. We have the use of contour in drag makeup, where contouring is an essential part of it, to create more exaggerated features, such as a higher cheekbones and a more defined jawline, contributing to the transformative aspect of the drag artistry. We got the use of contouring on social media influencers as well, with beauty influencers and content creators. And lastly, we have the use of contour makeup in special effects makeup to create realistic injuries, aging effects, or other transformations for movies, TV shows, and haunted attractions. Now, apart from the contour do's, we also have the contour don'ts that can be really helpful in order to understand better the significance of the contour process and the result given by following certain techniques, you could say. The following video you're about to see shows you exactly what I just described, the do's and don'ts of highlighting. So let me activate the video for you.
Hey guys. So today I wanted to talk to you about some common contour do's and don'ts, contour mistakes, basically just things that I've seen or that make like a really big difference. They might not know. Number one is basically trying to follow any contour guide for ostensibly your face shape. Something to keep in mind is that like there's a range of heart-shaped faces or square faces or round faces, and it isn't necessarily going to be like a one-size-fits-all. So finding someone on the internet who has ostensibly a heart-shaped face and you think you have a heart-shaped face might not be exactly what you're looking for. So rather than focus on like face shape, I like to focus on section of the face. So lower jawline, cheekbones, forehead, because it's kind of like mix and match, you know? Number two, I just realized I didn't fill in my brows. Number two is understanding why you put contour where you put it. So one of the things to keep in mind is that contour is meant to be dark because it's pushing an area back in space. And if you highlight, the light things are going to come forward, so they're going to be highlighted. So things that you want to minimize are the things that you're going to want to contour. So I want to show you halvesies on my face, some mistakes that I've seen. So the first one that I want to start off with is my cheekbones. Something that I used to do is contour really high up here on my cheekbone, which I didn't really realize was pushing this area back in space and kind of like bringing this area forward, which isn't like necessarily bad, but it's not what I was going for. If you look at my face, the widest point of my face is my cheekbones right here, which I actually like. I want to enhance that because I actually like to create more of a heart-shaped face, or effect. So what I'm going to do, and this is something that I learned from the makeup artist Hung, I'll link his channel down below, he's amazing, is to contour just in here, in this hollow right here, to accentuate this going in and make this area pop even more. So I'm going to place my contour right here, just a little bit above, so right in there. So a common mistake that I see a lot is people just kind of like scooping their cheekbones like this. That's not necessarily a flattering like technique on my face in general because the majority of the volume of my face is up here, not really down here, not really here in the center of my cheek, but also because kind of just doing this motion accentuates this area and it ends up dragging my face down. And I want to show you, once everything is blended, why that doesn't look good. For my lower jawline, something that I really like to do, if you like, take a look, we make a quick double chin. A mistake, not necessarily a mistake, but it depends on your face shape. I'll just see these makeup artists do this thing to these like perfect faces, like these beautiful women, where they enhance their chin, this part. So they'll put like a line here to enhance their chin, like that. Or they will line just against the jawline to make the jawline look smaller, which, if I do a double chin, just makes this area pop forward more, okay? So instead of putting that line here, I'm gonna kind of bring it in here. So I'm kind of going like against that area. I wanna push this area back, and I'm gonna scoop it underneath here. It's sort of like lifted, whereas on this side I look like a psycho marionette doll that's gonna kill you. All right, last mistake, and I want to show you how everything looks when it's blended, obviously, is for nose. So something that I see often is a lot of the time when people go to contour their nose, they'll just draw a stripe of dark down the side of their nose like that, because they're like, that's where the shadow is, right? But what this does is it just makes my nose look wider because it creates more of a shadow here, which makes the white part of my nose, the light part of my nose, more prominent. It makes it feel like it's coming forward even more, which is why it's casting such a gigantic shadow. So what you want to do instead, if you're trying to make your nose look a little bit more narrow, is draw your line inward a little bit. So I'm going to bring it in like this. Doesn't have to be too much, but can you see the difference from this side? The lines that we've drawn, like the direction that they're going and like what we're going for versus this side. It's kind of crazy. Like, doesn't my nose look like it's going like this way? All right, I'm gonna blend this out and let's compare. Same deal, focusing it in this area. This is the area that I want to push back in space. So I'm blending, and then I'm gonna pug, my lower jawline, just underneath in this area that I want to push back in space to minimize. I'm gonna go over here. So scooping the cheekbone, bringing it up to the ear. Blending here to make the chin more prominent. You may have come across this. I feel like I've seen this in so many tutorials of makeup artists doing this this move right here on like these women that are already like so stunningly perfect. Not so good on me. And then blending right on the jawline to minimize that jaw bone, which, especially in my case, is going to make this area look like it's being pushed back in space, which is going to bring this area forward anytime I'm talking. Now, I'm going to blend the right side. So I want to keep this in kind of a nice slender line. So I'm just patting, and then I'm just going to gently blend it down a little bit. Wipe off, go back in and tap. Just a really light hand, because I don't want to completely like remove that line, but I obviously don't want it to be so stark. So patting, and then you can go in with your concealer brush or your sponge and just diffuse those edges. Okay, so can you see how that kind of like brings the eye inward? It kind of makes it look a little bit more narrow. So on this side, I'm just gonna shade the side of my nose. Do you see how it's kind of like pushing my nose this way? Like it's making it look like it's more like that. Whereas this side is kind of bringing it inward. So if we analyze this side, what we can see is that the dark color here, cupping especially this part of my cheek, doesn't flatter my specific cheek shape. It's also just making this area look way too dark and dragging the eye down. As well as this weird thing is kind of like giving me the appearance of jowls when I don't have them. And by darkening this area, it's kind of like making all of this just one plane. So it's not giving me that nice, like defined cheekbone. The nose is obvious. I mean, you can see that like putting this really, really dark shade here, it makes this stand out so much more, which is going to make the top of my nose look more prominent and also wider. Whereas on this side, we have this area nice and pushed back. And we also have this like nice line created here because I shaded this area and then I brought it underneath my jawline. So when I do a double chin like this and I'm talking, this is more pushed back in space than this. You see that difference? And my cheekbone has like a really nice like lifted definition without looking old. So like this side of my face looks like nice and young and sculpted, whereas this side looks like old and like dragged down. You know, I'm like aging myself without needing to. And then obviously like I wouldn't consider myself the best at contouring my nose. I have a bumpy nose, it's difficult, but you can see that this line right here, the shadow that we've created is bringing that in a little bit. If you have like a really easy nose, if you don't have a bump, or if you just have like a flatter bridge or whatever, you don't have bumps, it's gonna work for you really well. This looks so crazy. Yeah, that looks so bad. It just drags my face down like crazy. So funny to see it side by side. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. I know I've done like a lot of contour content, contour, bronzer, highlighting, all of that stuff. But I wanted to show you some stuff side by side. I feel like it makes a big difference, and I would love to hear if you have any specifics, you know, specific questions, whatever.
I really hope this was helpful regarding the do's and don'ts of sculpting the face with contour. Well, now, contouring in theater. Contouring in theater is essential for enhancing facial features, creating character-specific looks. It compensates for stage lighting and supporting the narrative all over. It plays a crucial role in ensuring that performers' expressions and features are visible and make an impact, you could say, from a distance, thereby enhancing the overall effectiveness and professionalism of the production. By using contouring techniques, theater makeup artists can create more believable, expressive, and visual engaging characters, contributing significantly to the success of the performance. Contouring in theater makeup is vital for several reasons, significantly enhancing the effectiveness of makeup under stage conditions. Specifically, contouring in theater enhances facial features, as you can see here in the description. Theater audiences often view performers from a considerable distance, so contouring helps to enhance and define facial features, ensuring that expressions and features are visible even from the back rows of the theater. And regarding a character definition, making our own character in the theater, it helps bring out the bone structure and natural features of the performers, making characters more recognizable and distinct among each other. Regarding the second feature, creating character specifics, contouring can transform an actor's face to suit a specific character. This includes altering the age, emphasizing certain traits, or creating specific looks. We can create a strong jawline for a heroic character, for example. We can create hollow cheeks for a villain. And we can also offer historical accuracy by altering the features. For period pieces, contouring can help recreate facial styles and beauty standards of the time, adding to the authenticity of the performance as well. As we mentioned before, we compensate for stage lighting because stage lighting can be really harsh and flatten out natural facial contours. Contouring counteracts this effect by reintroducing shadows and highlights, giving the face more dimension and preventing it from looking washed out, you could say. We maintain consistency because contouring ensures that the performers looks the same under different lighting conditions, which is really crucial for maintaining character continuity throughout the performance. In number 4, we have the enhancing of emotional expressions. We can accentuate expressions and add depth to a character. Contouring helps accentuate facial expressions, making emotions more visible and impactful to the audience. This is really crucial for conveying the story and the character's feelings effectively to the crowd. By adding depth, by creating shadows and highlights, contouring adds depth to the face that enhances the visual impact of expressions and makes performances more engaging, you could say. We can have aging effects, create illusions, because contouring can be used to make performers look older or younger, adding to the believability of the roles. And it can simulate weight loss or gain, illness, or other physical conditions that are part of the character's narrative. Also, it can contouring in theater can support costumes and the overall look. Effective contouring works in harmony with the costumes and overall look of the characters, contributing to a cohesive visual representation. So we have a great continuity of the looks between hair, makeup, and costumes. For characters with elaborate makeup designs, such as fantasy or mythical characters, contouring helps to define and enhance these designs, making them more striking and visually appealing as well. Contributing to the narrative, contouring helps to tell the story by visually defining characters and their roles. For instance, a hero might have strong, well-defined features, while a villain might have sharp, shadowed contours. It can be used to support the themes and mood of the production as well. For example, a dark, moody play might use more dramatic contouring to create intense shadows and highlights. It can also it aspires professionalism and quality to the production, to the play, to the theater play. Contouring adds a level of professionalism, and it emits a well-polished makeup, you could say, making the overall production look more refined and well-executed. A well-done contouring can enhance the visual appeal of the performance, making the production more engaging and enjoyable as well to the audience. Now, the steps for theater contouring is to prepare the skin by cleansing, moisturizing, and putting primer on the face. We apply our base makeup, foundation, and concealer. We apply contouring on the forehead, cheekbones, nose, and jawline. We apply highlighting under the eyes, nose bridge, the forehead, and chin center. We apply blush, as blush can be another means of contouring. You could say it can create a lifting effect on the cheekbones. And we also apply a setting spray. Now, before we analyze the steps to create a theatrical contour, we have some useful tips for theater makeup contouring. The key is to exaggerate in theater. Remember that stage lighting can wash out makeup, so exaggerate the contour and highlight more than you would for everyday makeup. Another key is to blend well, because harsh lines can be very noticeable on stage, so you ensure that everything is blended smoothly. You always perform tests under stage lights. If possible, you test your makeup under the actual stage lights to see how it looks and make all the necessary adjustments. And you also have to have in mind the durability. You use long-lasting and sweat-proof products to withstand the heat and duration of the performance. Theater makeup contouring is more dramatic and exaggerated compared to everyday makeup due to the need to highlight facial features under the stage lights, as we mentioned, and because of the distance. So we start analyzing the steps. Regarding preparation of the skin, we start with a clean and moisturized face, as always, to ensure a smooth application of makeup. We apply primer to help the makeup last throughout the performance and withstand heat and sweat, as we may not have the opportunity for touch-ups. Regarding the base of our makeup, that means applying our foundation. We use a foundation that matches the skin tone, but is slightly more opaque than everyday foundation to ensure it stands out under stage lights. So we don't need glossy effects this time. We really need to use more mattifying makeups. We blend it well into the skin using a sponge or a brush. We also apply concealer to areas that need extra coverage, like under the eyes and on any blemishes of the skin. Regarding contouring, we use a cream or a powder contour that is several shades darker than the skin tone for shadows, and the highlighter that is several shades lighter for highlights. The steps for contouring on the forehead, cheekbones, nose, and jawline are as described. We apply the darker contour shade along the hairline and temples to create depth. We highlight the center of the forehead to bring it forward, as you saw in the video. Regarding cheekbones, it is really helpful to suck your cheeks like this, as you can see on my expression. To find the hollows here, you apply the contour shades in the hollows from the ear downwards the corner of the mouth, but you stop mid-cheek here. You blend upwards to avoid the harsh lines, and you apply highlighter on the tops of the cheekbones, that this means here, to make them stand out. Contour along the sides of the nose from the bridge to the tip. You also highlight down the center of the nose to create a sliming effect. And regarding the jawline, you contour along the jawline and under the chin to define it. You always blend well to avoid visible lines. And regarding highlighting, you apply highlighter under the eyes, on the bridge of the nose, the center of the forehead and chin. As we mentioned before, you also use blush. You apply bold blush on the apples of the cheeks, this meaning this area here, and you blend towards the temples again. Stage makeup requires more intense blush in general to avoid looking washed out under lights. So with any substance or ingredient you use, you have to be really bold with theatrical makeup. And you always set with a translucent or compact powder to prevent it from moving, and you also reduce shine this way. And you can lastly use a setting spray to ensure makeup lasts throughout the performance. I'm going one slide backwards in order for you to see the man on the image. You can see the effective contouring on his face. All these features on his face can be really distinct from a distance, although this one is a bit subtle for theater. Now, contouring in television is performed in several key scenarios to enhance the on-screen appearance of the talent. These instances include live broadcasts, dramatic productions, reality shows, interviews and guest appearances, special events, and other instances. For example, for live broadcasts, for example, we have news anchors, talk show hosts, and live event presenters that often have their makeup contoured to ensure they look their best under harsh light studios. For dramatic productions, actors in TV dramas and movies require contouring to define their features, align with character roles, and maintain a consistent look across different scenes and lighting conditions. For reality shows, we have participants that need makeup contouring to enhance the natural features again and ensure they look polished on camera and throughout filming. Regarding interviews and guest appearances, we have guests on talk shows, interview segments, or panel discussions. All the participants are contoured there to provide a natural yet refined appearance. And regarding special events, we have television specials, award shows, and major events that often require on-screen talent to be contoured for a flawless and captivating look. Now, contouring in television enhances facial features. Again, it reduces shine and glare, it maintains consistency, and it aspires professionalism and quality. Now the steps for TV contouring is again to prepare the skin, cleanse, moisturize, and put the primer on the face. You always apply a matching skin tone foundation, preferably an HD foundation, especially nowadays, because nowadays all the cameras are high definition. You perform contouring highlighting techniques of suitable shades. You blend all the shades thoroughly again. You set the base with a translucent powder and setting spray, and you always apply blush for healthy look or use it to enhance contouring again. Let me tell you that regarding the steps for TV contouring, you don't need to alter the features. You mostly need to accentuate the already existing features, not alter them exactly. You can alter them slightly. You have some useful tips for television makeup contour. Again, less is more because television makeup should enhance natural features without looking overdone. We avoid heavy contouring that looks artificial. We always blend thoroughly. This is the key to a natural looking contouring. It is better to spend time ensuring there are no visible lines or harsh edges on our contour. And we always test the makeup under camera conditions before going on air to see how it reads on screen. That's pretty much it. But apart from all of those, you also have to map the face. That means that you have to identify where the features of the model are. So you do not want to alter the features, as I said before, you need to enhance them. You always apply the darker contour shades to the hollows of the cheeks, along the hairline, the sides of the nose, and under the jawline. This helps add depth and dimension. And for highlighting areas, you apply the lighter highlight shade to the high point of the face, such as the tops of the cheekbones, the bridge of the nose, the center of the forehead, and the chin. This helps bring features forward and add a natural glow as well to your TV makeup look. Now there's a video here where you can see. This video is a great opportunity to see how we do contour makeup on men as well. That's why I selected the specific video. The makeup he's going to perform in the video, this guy, is a great example of a natural TV look, you could say. So enjoy.
Today we're going to be doing contouring, so let's make a start. So first thing I'm going to do is just hydrate my skin. I'm going to be using Dermalogica here, and this is the Stabilizing Repair Cream, and I'm going to apply a pump, apply it to clean, cleansed skin. Next I'm going to apply Drunk Elephant, and this is the under eye cream, and I'm just going to apply this just because my under eye area is a little bit drier than normal, so I just want to hydrate it. Next up, foundation, Laura Geller Balance and Brighten. This is going to take me 20 seconds. I'm just going to buff it into the skin just to even out the skin tone so that we're ready for facial sculpting. So it's just a light application. We'll do concealer after we've done the contour. So contouring, I'm going to sculpt my face, but really what I'm doing here is adding dimension to the face. I'm not trying to achieve that really ultra chiseled look because it doesn't look real. I'm going to be using this contour stylus, and this is by Victoria Beckham, and I'm going to start with my bone structure. So I'm going to follow it down underneath the cheekbones and curving it round. Next I'm going to go down the sides of the nose. And I'm also going to go into the brow itself. I'm just going to do a little line underneath the nose as well. Now I'm going to contour around the perimeter of my forehead as well. And I'm going to contour this outside portion of the eye. Start right away from the brow bone to the lid. So now it's time to blend. So I'm going to start with the cheek. And I'm just going to move it in back and forward motion to blend the line, but leave, it's not a shadow, but leave dimension. Same thing on the other side. These sticks blend so beautifully, they really do. Now on the forehead, I'm starting from the middle, I'm working my way out, and then I'm bringing it into the hairline as well. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to start to bring it down and then pull it into the hairline. It just, you can see, it just gives this halo of structure, of color to the face. So now I'm going to do the eyebrow and the eyelid. So you're basically covering half of it.
So as you can see, this guy is mostly framing the face, not altering the features.
And then you want to pull up. So you're coming upwards and then blending it into that line that we just created. All you're trying to do here is minimize lightly this outside corner, which is oftentimes the most problematic. Don't forget to blend the edges. It's really important. When it comes to the nose, I'm going to use a smaller brush, which has this great little angle to it. And I'm going to start down the sides, just lightly blending the line. And then I'm going to turn the brush around, go up and into the eyebrow and feathering it into the eyebrow. And then I shade slightly down the sides of the nose. With the nose, you can never be too careful. So just go in and tap with your fingers to blend. Now, because I've got a beard, I can't contour my jawline with your standard contouring product, but I've got a trick up my sleeve. So I'm going to be using this, which is a really...
This is a really useful trick as well. If you happen to perform a makeup contour on a man, what do you do with all the beard and the mustache? This is a really great example regarding this issue.
Old now. It is theatre makeup and it's in black. I'm going to take a stippling sponge, dip it into the product, and I'm going to apply this just to the jawline where my beard is, and it will give me a really defined jawline. And you can see just that little bit just defines the jaw, sharpens it up. And if you don't have a beard, you can just use your contour product and blend it out. So this is where concealer comes in. I'm now going to dot just a few dots of concealer on the face in the areas that I want to brighten. So I want to go just under where I did the contouring and just a couple of dots lightly just to highlight things and bring back more shape. I'm going to take a fluffy small eyeshadow brush and just blend this in. And then I just rub it with my finger down my nose. Now normally I would add in blusher here, but for this video I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it about shape. So instead I'm going to use a powder bronzer. So I'm taking a lovely powder bronzer and a brush, and what I'm going to do now is very lightly just go over the contoured areas just to build back a little bit of depth. And this also sets it and adds a little bit more dimension. Go around that outside perimeter, just adding structure. And right here on the outside corner of my eye, bringing it up. I'm not going to add the powder bronzer to my nose because it will just be too much. Instead, what I'm going to do is add a little bit of a cream highlighter. This is a beautiful one, and I'm just going to dot this high up on my cheekbone and then blend it in. It just adds a beautiful bit of light. It's really pretty. I'm also going to take that same highlighter on my finger and just very lightly tap it just on the bridge of the nose. Now just to emphasize some of the highlights, I'm going to take a nice light powder and I'm going to very gently apply this on this inner corner where the highlighter or the concealer was, just to add in more dimension. Just underneath the cheekbone. I'm going to do it just down the sides of the nose. You see the face is now just starting to look just three-dimensional, not flat in one tone. Now I'm just going to go in very lightly with a brow pencil just to fill in any missing gaps, nothing too hard, and just brush it through. And finally I'm going to curl my lashes and apply a very thin coat of mascara. And again, the mascara here is just to add contrast. I'm not trying to build up really thick lashes. It's just to add contrast to the whites of the eye. And that completes the look. The face is structured. Nobody could really tell that I have anything on my skin, but there is dimension to my skin. It's not one color of foundation. There's multiple shades going on. We used a cream contour, a powder bronzer, we used a highlighter, we used a lighter powder, and it's given structure to our skin that looks realistic. I love this. Thanks for watching. See you all soon. Bye-bye.
I have a question. I have to wait until the end, or I can ask now?
Is it in regards to this video we saw right here?
Yes, because I have a very dark skin. Yeah.
Okay, you may ask
And,
them, yeah.
I'm asking, when I see all of this, it's the same principle when I make a makeup in myself.
Yeah,
Because
of course.
I don't really use makeup. I don't know how to.
It's you follow the same principles, but you just use the suitable shade for yourself. So you apply your makeup foundation as usual, the right skin tone for you, and then you choose for a highlighter a product that is 2 shades lighter, and for a contour product a substance that has 2 shades darker.
Okay, every time that I put the things, it's more dark than my skin, because I imagine that I have to put something more light.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same principle, whatever skin color or shade you have.
Okay.
Okay. You can perform mixes in your products. If you don't have a suitable product for contouring, you can mix some foundation with one another, or you can use dry powders and eyeshadow sometimes to do the contour. I do this all the time, actually, using eyeshadow to do contour on the face.
And you have this kind of video to show?
Unfortunately, not right now.
Okay.
Okay, but if you wish for me to find a video or to create a video, I will actually in the following sessions. Okay.
There is a lot of people here that would love to see, I think.
Of course. Okay. Then
sorry. What kind of video do you want, Andrea? Maybe I can search for
makeup
you.
in my skin.
Yeah. Δημήτρη, εξήγησε μου τι πρέπει να έχει αυτό το βίντεο να το ψάξω εγώ.
A video for contouring darker skin tone people, actually.
Okay. I will try, Andrea.
Okay. I will try too, but
Yeah. No. You keep following the lesson, and I will see. Maybe till the end of the lesson, I have something.
okay. Also, I have a lot of dark marks here. Something that show how to take all of this out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Δημήτρη, τι θέλει κάτι να καλύψει?
Όχι, θα σας πω μετά.
Όχι, εγώ θέλω να ψάξω τώρα. Μπορείς να μου πεις μια στιγμή?
Ναι. Andrea wants a video for contouring
Όχι, συνέχισε Δημήτρη, άστο. Άστο, θα μου εξηγήσει. Άστο, θα το βρω. Okay, συνέχισε Δημήτρη.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then, where were we? Steps for contouring. No, then we have contouring.
Question.
Yeah, who has a question?
Yes, Catherine.
Give me a minute. I cannot see the camera. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, please ask.
Yes, I was inquiring, how do I tell the right contour or the foundation that matches my skin type, or I have to keep on trying all the varieties of the contour?
That's why we had the previous sessions. The right foundation selection, the right colors. That's why we had the previous sessions. It is a knowledge you already have, apparently, up to this point.
Okay.
Okay, today is just the contour technique. The right foundation kind is already taught from the previous sessions.
Catherine, I have sent you the links from the previous lessons, and you have to read it, and you have to see all the recording.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah, you have to revise the previous sessions, actually, in order to understand the today's session.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Is there another question, or can I continue?
Yes, you can continue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Regarding contouring in cinema, can create aging effects, the same as in theater. It enhances transformations in fantasy and sci-fi films. It enhances actor performance, and it offers realism under various lighting conditions as well. Makeup contouring in cinema is a powerful tool that enhances storytelling, supports character development, and ensures visual continuity. It requires a deep understanding of facial anatomy, though, artistic skill, and an ability to adapt to the unique demands of filmmaking. So the approach of contouring in cinema is quite different from the other two kinds. It doesn't look like anything. The purpose of contouring in cinema regarding aging and fantasy sci-fi characters is make actors look significantly older or younger. For instance, adding shadows to create wrinkles or using highlights to give the skin a youthful glow are used widely in cinema. Transforming actors into non-human characters such as aliens or mythical creatures often requires extensive contouring to alter face shapes and structures. Regarding the enhancing of the performance, subtle contouring, light contouring, meaning can emphasize expressions and emotions, as you can see in the image on the right, making them more pronounced on camera. You can see on the image it's a really light effect because it is cinema. It's like real life. We don't want anything too heavy or visible. Contouring helps create a more realistic appearance under various lighting conditions, which is crucial for maintaining continuity and believability. Regarding highlighting and shadowing, contouring helps enhance or counteract the effects of different lighting setups, so it ensures that the actor's features are well-defined and consistent. And regarding dimension, by creating the illusion of depth and structure, contouring helps avoid a flat appearance on camera, making the actor's face look more three-dimensional. So it's kind of a lighter effect than the one you see on the image on the right. And now the techniques and tools we use. We can use creams and powders as products, depending on the desired effect. Creams are often used for a more dramatic look, while powders can provide a softer, more natural finish. Regarding color selection of those, contour shades are typically a few shades darker than the actor's natural skin tone. So you don't need 1-2 tones, you really need something really subtle, almost non-existent as a contour tone, while highlight shades are lighter. This contrast creates the illusion of depth again. And regarding the application techniques, you always need to map the face. Makeup artists strategically place darker shades in areas where shadows naturally fall, under the cheekbones, along the jawline, the side of the noses, and the lighter shades are put where light naturally hits the top of the cheekbones, the bridge of the nose, the forehead, and the chin. Blending is crucial again for a natural look. Harsh lines can break the illusion of natural shadows and highlights, unfortunately. So artists often use brushes, sponges, and even airbrushes for a seamless blending, you could say. Now, you may have some iconic characters in mind that had contour in cinema. Some iconic uses for contour are the transformation of some characters, such as the Joker, as you can see on the image here on the left. Heath Ledger as Joker in The Dark Knight. We had heavy contouring and shading that created the menacing and chaotic look of the Joker. We also had characters like Charlize Theron in Monster, with extensive contouring helping transform Charlize into the serial killer, altering her face to look more weathered and harsh. We have the use of contour in period films, fantasy and sci-fi films such as Avatar and Star Wars. Characters like Darth Maul require precise contouring to create the striking red and black facial patterns. So the patterns were used like a contour on his face to create this menacing look. And in Avatar, contouring was essential in transforming actors into the tribe Na'vi with the elongated features and the ethereal look. Although this was mostly a CGI effect rather than a real makeup. And the challenges in cinema is the consistency of the makeup, because maintaining consistent contouring across different scenes and shooting days can be a real challenge. Detailed continuity notes and reference photos are essential in this instance. So we have to keep really good notes and photographs of the contour in order to be able to replicate it day by day. We have lighting changes as challenges. Again, different lighting setups can alter how contouring appears on camera, requiring adjustments to makeup to maintain the intended look. And we also have the physical activity of the actors, because actors' movements and physical exertions can affect the makeup's duration, longevity, necessitating frequent touch-ups. It's a good thing we can do touch-ups in cinema, because we really have challenges like physical activity with the sweat and everything. So everything from these three can really break down your makeup, actually. Now the steps for cinema contouring are to prepare the skin, again, to apply a perfectly matching high-definition foundation of exact color, perform subtle contouring and highlighting of suitable shades, preferably with cream and powder products, but really subtly. Most of the times you don't even need a contour in cinema, actually, because the actor selected for the specific scene is chosen for this role, so you don't need to alter anything on his face or his body. You always have to carefully map the face in order to follow natural shapes of the face for the shades and the light. You always blend shades thoroughly. You also apply blush for healthy looks or use it to enhance contouring effects. And you always set the base lightly with a translucent powder and setting spray. The set of the base with the translucent powder, you always do that by feathering the brush on the face. Light strokes, not pressing the powder. Generally, cinema makeup requires more precision due to high-resolution cameras. You have to pay close attention to detail and ensure everything is blended perfectly. You use color correctors to neutralize any skin discolorations before applying foundation and contouring products. You layer products gradually to build up the desired effect without making the makeup look heavy. And you always take test shots under actual lighting conditions and review them on a monitor to see how the makeup reads on camera. You maintain consistency in makeup for continuity purposes. That's the biggest trial in cinema, the continuity, especially for scenes that are shot over multiple days. That's pretty much for cinema contouring. And lastly, we have contouring in special effects. Because contouring in special effects is a fundamental technique. It enhances the realism, depth, and believability of the effects. It allows makeup artists to transform actors into a wide range of characters. You can simulate injuries and conditions as well. You can adapt different lighting conditions, maintain continuity through a production with the overall look of hair, makeup, and clothing. Generally, by using contouring, SFX makeup can achieve a level of detail and authenticity, you could say, that significantly contributes to the storytelling and visual impact of the project. Contouring in special effects is crucial for several reasons, contributing to the realism and effectiveness of the makeup design. You can create realistic depth and dimension, as it is written here in the slide. Contouring helps create the illusion of depth and dimension, which is really essential in SFX makeup. By using light and shadow, makeup artists can enhance the texture of scars, wounds, and other skin anomalies, making them appear more lifelike as well. Regarding character transformation, contouring is vital for altering facial features, as you can see in the images here, especially the one on the bottom left. Facial features can be altered to match a specific character design. This includes making the noses appear larger or smaller. We're free to do anything, actually, in SFX contouring. And also, regarding aging effects, contouring can effectively simulate aging by emphasizing natural lines and shadows on the face, creating the appearance of wrinkles and sagging skin. So the effect of the girl on the first video where she had the sagging skin here from the contouring dots, that's a desired effect in this instance in the SFX application. Now, contouring is used to blend the edges of prosthetics and appliances into the natural skin, making the transition more seamless and invincible. We have proper contouring that ensures that the colors of prosthetics match the surrounding skin tones, enhancing the overall believability. So it's the perfect combination of a fake material being the prosthetic and the real one being the skin, and the transition between the one and the other. It can simulate injuries and conditions. Contouring is essential for simulating all those bruises, swelling, and other injuries. By using a combination of colors and shading, makeup artists can create realistic-looking traumas as well. For characters that need to appear diseased or decayed, contouring helps create the necessary shadows and highlights that mimics these conditions of disease and decay. Now we have also some lighting considerations. Special effects makeup often needs to look good under various lighting conditions, as in the other instances, including harsh or dramatic lighting. So contouring once again helps ensure that the makeup looks realistic and maintains its integrity regardless of the lighting. We also enhance emotional expression, as you can see on the images shown here. We can use subtle contouring to add depth to a character's personality, helping convey traits like menace, wisdom, or fatigue. And we can also make artistic and creative effects apart from the others we mentioned previously. For fantasy and sci-fi characters, non-human characters to say, or for fantastical beings such as monsters, contouring helps create the otherworldly features, you could say, that are essential for these roles. This again includes exaggerated bone structures, unusual skin textures, and other creative designs. Regarding mythical creatures, contouring is used to shape and define the unique features of elves, fairies, demons, contributing to their distinctive appearances. And lastly, contouring in SFX offers consistency and continuity in the overall look. In film and television, generally maintaining continuity of the makeup look across different scenes and shooting days is crucial. So contouring helps again with this to keep the makeup consistent, ensuring that the character looks the same from one shot to the next. And lastly, but very important, let me say, contouring techniques are documented meticulously to replicate the exact look in future applications, something that is really crucial for lengthy productions. So that's pretty much it regarding contouring. There's a huge variety of things we can do with contour. Especially in SFX, we're really free to do almost everything. Regarding the other three means, like TV, theater, and cinema, we're really under some strict instructions and rules, you could say, of a contour application. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm sure you have many questions because I consider it to be a really hard one, the today's session. Do you have something to ask now that can be answered, probably? No, I take it as a no, probably.
Nobody.
Yes, a question.
Yeah, please.
Catherine. Yeah.
contouring, can it be done alone minus the base of the foundation? Or you have to first have to create the base, the foundation, the lights, then you contour after one shape after the other, or it can be done alone as a different makeup also?
Usually contour makeup is done during the foundation application, before putting the eyeshadow, blush, or lips and eye effects of the makeup. So usually you have to have the right lighting conditions in each instance to achieve the desired look. So you have to be really careful and demand specific conditions before you start your makeup.
Hello, I beg your pardon, network is a bit up and down. Probably let me change the position.
Don't worry.
I beg your pardon.
No worries. Did I answer your question, or you meant something different from this? I cannot hear you. Catherine?
Hello.
Yeah, I cannot hear you.
No. Yes, now I hear. Yes.
Okay. Did you hear my response? No, you probably are experiencing some internet connection issues. I cannot hear you at all, actually.
But I'm in the right position. I don't know that you're hearing me again.
Now I hear you, but it gets disrupted, actually.
Yes, I beg your pardon on the answer, please.
You didn't hear my answer.
No, I haven't.
Can you ask again what's your question, please? Because maybe I didn't understand something.
Okay, the question is, can you hearing me?
Yeah.
Can contouring be done alone, as in minus first applying the foundation, or you first have to go all the steps of the primer, everything, then you contour at the end of the work, then you highlight what all that?
Oh no, contouring is done before the actual makeup, so it's a part of the base application, of the foundation application. Alongside the foundation, when you apply your selected foundation for each model, then you put your contour at the same time, and then you proceed with eyeshadow, lips, and eyebrows. These are done after the contour effect. If your contour is really light or non-visible, for example, in cinema, as I said before, you can perform contouring afterwards by using a light effect of shading with a powder, with a dark powder. But if it is a heavy contour, you have to do it from the very beginning while applying your foundation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Other questions?
Okay, if there is no other question, I find a video for Andrea, and if you allow me, Dimitris, I can show it to you if
of course.
if you finish.
Yeah, I'm done with the presentation.
Okay.
We'll be more than delighted to share it with us.
Okay. I take the... Just a moment to find it first. Where are they? I don't know. Okay, yes. This must be here. Okay, and share. What the?
Hi, I'm Tembi and I'm a makeup.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I interrupted. Sorry, it's my fault.
Yeah, no worries.
It's my fault. Το βλέπατε προηγουμένως, Δημήτρη?
Ναι.
Hi, I'm Tembi and I'm a makeup artist. This is the lovely Alicia. Today we're going to be talking you
Δεν το βλέπουμε, κύριε Νικό.
the darker skin
Δεν το
tones.
βλέπετε.
So our first step is to prepare the base.
Sorry. Well, a bit complicated. Just a moment to close some. And where am I? I'm here.
The video is not showing.
Yeah, I know. Τώρα το βλέπετε? Βλέπεις αυτό που βλέπω? Όχι.
Όχι, μια λευκή σελίδα βλέπουμε.
Μια λευκή σελίδα βλέπετε. Δεν ξέρω, είναι αυτό το πράγμα, ας πούμε, το οποίο μου κάνει προβλήματα. Really, excuse me about that. Το στοιχείο έλλειψης. Τώρα τι βλέπετε?
The indication, contour and highlight a dark skin tone, how to make up tutorial. But it's on a list. Μια λίστα βλέπουμε.
Hi, I'm Tembi and I'm a makeup artist.
Βλέπετε το βίντεο τώρα?
Όχι ακόμα.
We're talking you through contour and highlight for darker skin tones.
Ένα λεπτό. Έχω πολλές οθόνες ανοιχτές.
Ναι.
Και αυτό είναι το πρόβλημά μου εδώ πέρα, νομίζω. Okay. Τώρα τι βλέπετε, Δημήτρη?
Yeah, it's okay now.
It's okay? Το βλέπετε
Hi,
τώρα?
I'm Tembi and I'm a makeup artist. This is the
Εντάξει.
lovely Alicia.
Ναι, το βλέπουμε.
Today we're going to be talking you through contour and highlight for darker skin tones. So our first step, we need to prepare the base. Now, when you are preparing your base, you need to look at the undertones that are present in the skin. So I'm going to be going for a really nice, deep, goldeny tone to match this gorgeous skin tone that we've got. So I will start in the center of the face, work my way outwards, just doing nice, light, feathery motions. That way, when you get to your hairline, you're not going to have too much product. A key tip as well is, because we are going to be doing our highlight and contour, we're going to be building up on our layers, so we don't want to be using too much product at this stage either. There's common areas where it might be a little bit uneven. We're looking around the under eye area and just around the jaw here, so we can just use the concealer to just even that out. You want to choose a tone that's a lot warmer. Depending on your skin tone, sometimes an orange works really well as well. Okay, so now our base is finished. For step 2, I'm going to actually start to apply the contours onto the skin. Now, depending on your skin tone, if you are to the lighter end of the spectrum of a deeper skin tone, you can use a darker foundation or a darker concealer. If your skin is a lot deeper, then sometimes you can just apply your highlighters and the shadows will be cast on their own. I'm using a deeper coloured foundation here, and I'm just coming underneath the cheekbones. I like to kind of use the center part, the tragus of the ear, as my reference point.
And where do you stop it? Like here?
You kind of want to be stopping it when you're looking straight in the mirror. If you kind of put your brush along here, where the iris of the eye is. what we're trying to do is lift the cheekbones up nicely. So I try and do this sweeping upwards motion.
And always upwards.
Yeah,
Oh,
because if you think about it, we're trying to lift up the cheekbones.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of work it.
So I've got quite deep cheekbones already. So like, how much product should I actually add?
Well, if you've already got the cheekbone there, we don't need to add too much. We're just going to be just emphasising what's already there. If you don't have the cheekbones that are already there, then that's when you maybe want to make the line just a little bit more defined so that you're creating that cheekbone.
And for someone of my skin tone, like what shades like do I go for?
What kind of tones to go for, yeah. So as we were talking about the undertones of the skin, you want to stick with the undertones that are already present within your skin, but then maybe just choose a foundation or a concealer shade that are a couple of shades darker than your skin. So I've gone with like an espresso-y type colour here today. If we had a skin that was a bit darker than Alicia's, then I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but even adding a hint of a black eyeshadow, I know it sounds crazy, but a little bit of a black eyeshadow just really polished on softly with a blusher brush, just in the hollows of the cheekbones, is just going to add that extra little bit of definition that you need. So our next step, now that we've finished the sculpting or the contouring, we're going to move on to the highlighting. So as we were just talking about the tones, we want to do the same sort of thing, but instead of going darker, we want to go lighter. So I'm going to stick with the golden toned concealer, but it's just a few shades lighter than Alicia's skin tone. Now what I want to do is I want to place it under the eye, and I want to do it in sort of a V shape, just like this. So that's coming under the eye, straight down here. You want to stop around about the nose area and then bringing it up onto the cheekbone. And what that's going to do, it's going to create a flat surface at the front of Alicia's face, and then it's going to lift up the cheekbone. So other key areas where we're going to want to be highlighting, we could highlight down the bridge of the nose, in the centre of the forehead. If you've already got really high cheekbones, then you only need to add a soft extra little bit of definition.
And what is the purpose of highlighting? Is it to like bring out?
Yeah, so when we're contouring, we're creating a shadow, so we're trying to make those areas recede. Your highlight is going to be applied to the high planes of the face, and that's going to make it pop. So we're really trying to bring it forward. So that's why the cheekbones are a key area, and they're the kind of the most place where we want it to be highlighted.
Okay.
I like to do it gradually as well. You find that you can go a lot lighter, easier if you do it in stages. Applying it to the brow bone area as well really helps to just give a nice lift to the brow. So our final step, now that we've done all of our cream work, is to set everything in with some powders and then add some nice of a goldeny highlight.
So is this like baking?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a softer version of baking, so I'm not applying too much powder because I don't think we need too much, especially under the eye area. We don't want it to start caking up and creasing. Again, just hugging those cheekbones.
Is this where you could use like a little bit of black?
This is when we could use a little bit of the black, yes.
Okay. Some have like a lighter tone
The
and like
colours of them.
glittery. And then some are like really bronzy and like glowy. Which ones are the best ones to go for deeper skin tones?
So with a deeper skin tone, you always want to be going for a gold-based highlighter. You want to kind of stay away from the pinky, nudie, silvery-based highlighters, just because none of those colours are present within your skin. So if you use a fan brush like this, and again, just really lightly, just polishing that onto the skin, you're just going to get a really nice soft finish. And it's really nice if we just add a touch to this inner corner of your eye. So if you just look up that way for me. Just going to open the eye up really nicely. Just makes you look really nice and wide. Just finish off with some lipstick here. And there you have it. What do you think, Alicia?
Oh my God, I'm beautiful. Now, this is really good. You can really see like where the highlight is, where the contour is, and my face, like my cheekbones really stand out now.
Yeah, and you're just looking really nice and glowy, aren't you?
Yeah, I love this in the center of your eyes because it's like if you don't really know how to do eyeshadow and stuff,
yeah, just
you can just do that. Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments box, and don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button below for more fun videos.
I don't know if it was the answer that you are asking for, Andrea.
Yes, it was something about really skin that I have.
I already sent you to the chat two other videos in order to see it if you want something more detailed or something particular.
Yes, thank you. I'm copying it.
Okay. So, Dimitri.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any more questions?
What about the exercise that you, the homework that you put last time?
Yeah, the task.
Yes.
I'll wait for some answers more. I don't know if everybody has answered actually.
I don't
And
know
I'll
how
send,
many answers do you have already?
well, I think 8, 10,
That's a good
approximately.
number.
Yeah.
That's a good number. Okay,
Okay.
you have to keep it a bit.
I
Yes,
sent
Catherine.
mine. I sent it in.
Okay, perfect. So I'll send the answer to the Aeroplio Theater mail, and then it will be forwarded to all of you, the correct answer. Okay. Thanks everybody for answering. Some of the answers were really creative and correct, although there were some issues, but I'll explain in my answer. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I want to say something about the new participants that we have from the last, I think, lesson. Dimitris and all the others that we teach and organize all these workshops, we already said very significant things on the subjects that we analyze and touch and approach. So the new participants, please refer to the YouTube recording that we have to our YouTube channel in order to see. It is detailed, is all the recording, and you can see and follow what is happening to the previous 7 weeks, for example. We cannot say it again, but they are all there. So you have to read it, you have to see it, and you have the opportunity to go forward or backward in order to see and understand better. We are all here, not only Dimitris, but me in stage design and light design, and Mika Panagu in costume design, in order to answer to any question probably you have. Okay.
Perfect. Okay,
Yes,
Mr.
perfect.
Nikos.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for mentioning these details.
Yeah. And if you don't have anything else to ask or to comment, we can finish the session.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend, you too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Andrea.
Bye-bye, Maya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Ιωάννα.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Καλό Σαββατοκύριακο.
Ευχαριστώ επίσης.
Bye-bye,
Καλές
everyone.
εκλογές. Να
Bye-bye,
πάτε να
everyone.
ψηφίσετε όλοι οι Έλληνες.
Ναι.
Πρέπει.
Πρέπει βέβαια. Να είστε καλά. Bye bye.
Καλό Σαββατοκύριακο. Γεια σας.